Hi everybody, welcome to Storyboard Ed. Today I wanted to give a quick review of a show I finished watching called Person of Interest. Alright, so first important character to mention is the Machine. The Machine is the primary focus of the show. And the first two characters that you really get to see of the show who are defending the Machine are John Reese and Harold Finch. Right there. Harold Finch is the creator of the Machine. He's the genius behind it. He gave it life. Within the first episode, you see John Reese being hired by Finch to help in the numbers that the Machine is giving. The numbers that the Machine gives are people who are either the perpetrators or the victims. And you don't know in the episode until maybe about halfway through sometimes, or maybe even from the start sometimes in the show, but really it's kind of like keeps you on the edge of your seat because you don't know if the number is going to be good or bad. They enlist other people to help them. The first one that they use to help them is Lionel Fusco, right here. Now, Lionel starts out as the corrupt cop who really is only out for personal interests. Like, he's gone, like, full out bad cop. Somehow, Reese sees a use for Fusco, seeing that there's a potential asset in Lionel. By around the second season, they bring another character into the mix, who she was already part of the show, but she was very much out of the loop in the first season. By around the second season, she joins the group, and her name is Detective Carter. She is very much by the books, but by around the third season of the show, she really has to go by her own morals to make her decisions, not necessarily by what the police go by. Unfortunately, Carter was in the series for about 3 seasons, and she had to get killed off. To keep the story going, keep it fresh, they all want vengeance. And by around the third season, when she's killed off, Lionel has gone from the crooked cop to one of the good guys that you can root for. So he's part of the team now, like in a better way. But he doesn't know about the Machine. Luckily for Carter, she learned about the Machine very last minute in the show, but got her killed, kind of. With Carter being gone, 2 other characters come to the forefront. Shaw and Root. In the earlier seasons, Root was a villain. She wanted something that wasn't necessarily good for the computer, only to become a follower later on, and a good guy, pretty much. One of the good people she becomes. Shaw comes into the series, like, around 4th season, and she becomes a central character. She starts out as, like, a assassin, and becomes a good person assassin, because she's working for the Machine. All these characters are trying to save Number's lives, relevant and irrelevant, throughout the series. Yeah. There's a sixth character who very much is, well, sixth main. Try again. There is one more character who sits on the sidelines, and you think of him as a bad guy at first. Try to. Okay. His name, Carl Elias. What he wants is to take over the city, pretty much. And at first you think that he's a bad guy, and yeah, he pretty much is. But he ends up assisting the machine and the people, and he ends up being a good guy by the end of the series. And I just thought he's a notable character because he's very much part of the series. He's very much part of assisting the machine, but he's not, in my opinion, like the main group that I listed. He's not really necessarily part of that group. So by the end of the series, the group has to deal with an entity called Samaritan and their goons. And it's a lot for them to handle. And it leads to a final mission which takes important characters, well, central characters that were part of the series, and kills some of them off. This is the main Season 5 group of characters. And Season 5 is like the last season. And the first character of the group to get killed off is Root. She gets killed off. And she was a very good character. And the machine wasn't before running with a voice of its own. And the machine chooses Root's voice to be, well, to speak for the machine. So she is dead. Root's dead, but she is now speaking for the machine. The second and last character to die in the series is John Reese. He sacrifices himself to help Finch in the show. And I am doing that. He's a hero. It was John's sacrifice that allowed the Samaritan program to no longer be an issue anymore. That's my summary. I think I probably left a couple things out, but for the most part I tried to sum it up the best I could. Personally, I thought this show was very well put together, and I really enjoyed it. Every twist I thought this story would take, it went a different direction, and I think that's pretty great storytelling. If your audience guess one way and you just get them going, wait, what? That was enjoyable. Very enjoyable show. 10 out of 10. I suggest you check it out.